to know, where do you get your sewing inspiration from? Today, I'm showing you my top 3 sewing magazines. When I first started sewing, I really didn't think much of the sewing magazines. The reason being is that as I walked through Joann's and I passed the magazine stand, the covers really weren't that appealing to me. They didn't really have fashions or just kind of fabrics and anything that appealed to my personal style, even though I wasn't really sure what my style was at the time. But I've really grown to kind of find a few magazines and learn that they all have their strengths and how I use them. So I'm going to share with you my top 3 and what I like about them. And by the way, this beautiful top that I made is a Berta pattern that I will be sharing on Style Sew Me pretty soon. So make sure that you're subscribed on my newsletter. So first up is Sew News. And I have to give a shout out, by the way, because this is my Style Sew Me Patterns Madison cardigan pattern on the cover of their October-November issue. That is not why I like them, okay? But I have to shout out that your girl got the cover of Sew News. Super excited. So when it comes to personal style, this one really captures mine. I love solids. I love clean pieces. I don't really do a lot of embroidery, a lot of patterns, or a lot of sewn details on my pieces. And I find that Sew News really captures a very clean aesthetic when it comes to styling. The makers that are covered in this magazine are around my age group, it looks like. And so, you know, we have similar interests, similar tastes. This issue, the October-November 2019, featured the Socialists, which is an organization that is all about inclusivity when it comes to shape, size, color, everything. They are really about the embodiment of everyone belongs here, okay? And so Sew News did a beautiful feature on the Socialist organization that I just absolutely loved. Another point about Sew News is that I find that their articles they're more article heavy, they're more tutorial heavy. They're not so much advertisement heavy. And I know that's how they pay the bills and everything, but as a reader, when I purchase a magazine, I want to learn something. I want to be entertained. I don't necessarily want to have, I don't want to purchase a magazine that a third of it is full of advertisements. So I really found the maker community that is celebrated, the types of looks that are celebrated in this magazine to be right along my personal style. And I just absolutely adore this magazine. So this one is, I'm starting off with my favorite, and that is Sew News. Next up is Sewn Magazine. And Sewn Magazine is by Michelle, also known as That Black Chick, over on Instagram and thatblackchick.com. What is really important and to me really groundbreaking about the Maker magazine space, to see a magazine that features an African-American woman with big, bold, natural hair, with color, with everything that most mainstream media finds unattractive, has been the most attractive thing about this magazine. Now, the theme in this magazine is, honey, you got to be bold. This does not qualify for Sewn Magazine pages, okay? You want to be bold. You are someone who loves to mix textures, who loves to mix prints, who is all about velvet, sequins, corduroy, denim, all in one piece. Sewn Magazine is for you. If you want to have a space that will give you inspiration, tutorials, introduce you to other makers who really stretch the box when it comes to making, who look at patterns and are able to create something totally different, this magazine is for you. It's chock full of tutorials, interviews, features, featuring children, women, and all kinds of other makers. There are even tutorials for pattern hacks, alterations that you can make on ready-to-wear pieces, and just really, really bold looks. And each magazine tends to have a theme. So the September-October issue was all about denim. So every single piece, every person featured in this magazine, every pattern featured has something to do with denim. And I really love that theme. And from the May-June issue, it was all about the shimmer, okay? We're talking sequins and any kind of bold reflective fabrics. You see bold polka dots. It's all about the pop in this magazine. So Sewn is one to check out. And last but not least, I want to go to the tried and true for everyone, and probably one of the most popular magazines, especially here in America, is Threads magazine. Now, as you can look on the cover, this is everything that I told you that I was not ever attracted to. But Threads is invaluable for skill building. If you want to know how to sew like the experts, you want to sew crisp details that look couture, that look tailor-made, that no one would ever guess that you made it, and you want to really hone and perfect your skills, Threads magazine is where it's at, okay? Now, the personal style, again, that's not my personal style, but when you look past the cover of these magazines and you really understand what they have to offer, then this is invaluable. I keep all of my magazines, I tend to doggy ear them or do like the little sticky notes out the side of them and write a little note on an article that I want to reference. And whenever I have like a project that maybe has a welt pocket, then I'll flip through my magazines. I have a whole bunch sitting here on the floor, but I'll flip through my magazines, find out where there was a really good tutorial about a welt pocket, and bam, I'm good to go. When it comes to Threads, I know that whatever tutorial is in this magazine that I'm going to be able to trust, and it's easy to follow, even if you are a beginner, okay? So Threads is definitely my go-to when it comes to skill building. Now you have 3 great options on sewing magazines that you can use to stretch your skills, find sewing inspiration, and meet other makers in your community. Let me know in the comments below if you've tried any of these magazines, or share with us what your favorite magazine is. And if you liked this video, please let me know by liking and subscribing and sharing it with the other makers that you know. If you also found this video helpful, introduced you to new ways to think about sewing magazines, leave me a comment and let me know. All right, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.